If you're sick of dealing with an uncomfortable house and want real solutions to fix it, the first step is understanding what type of house you actually have. I've inspected thousands of houses over the years, and I've learned that nearly every house can be categorized into one of four main house types, and each of those types has very common issues that cause different comfort problems. This video is the first of 10 chapters in my Home Comfort Advisor course, where I teach you how houses work as a system so you can quickly learn where your comfort issues come from and how to fix them properly the first time without wasting time and money on upgrades that won't work. Let's get started. Chapter 1, the four main house types. To start off here, I want to simplify things by identifying the four main types of houses that you'll see out there. The four types are 1 single-story houses, 1.5-story houses, 2-story houses, and 2.5-story houses. I'm not going to get into all the different house styles out there like colonial, mid-century modern, split level, or contemporary because the styles really don't matter. At the end of the day, all the different house styles can be broken down into the four types of houses that I just listed. Single-story houses. These are typically called ranches or patio homes, and they're still a popular choice for new construction today. An older version of this is called a shotgun style house. Depending on the foundation type, which we'll cover in Chapter 4, most of the air leakage in these houses happens through the ceiling one way or another. Comfort issues we diagnose with these types of houses are usually pretty easy to fix. 1.5-story houses. Most of these are referred to as Cape Cod or bungalow style homes, and a lot of these were built between 1950 and 1970. Older versions are called camelback style homes, and those were built in the early 1900s. Modern versions of this type of house are still being built today, and if you're wondering what a half story is, it's called that because the second floor has a smaller footprint than the first story. So one easy way to identify a 1.5-story house is by seeing what's called window dormers on them. These dormers extend outward from the living space on the second story and have small attic spaces above and beside them, and these small attic spaces are usually not accessible without removing drywall first. The second story of these homes also have short walls on two sides that face attic spaces, and those short walls are referred to as knee walls. The ceiling height of the second story of these homes is typically lower than the first floor as well. Those knee walls are what cause a lot of the comfort issues on the second floor because they face attic space that's over 120 degrees in the summertime. Most of the time, the floor joists for the second floor are open to those same attic spaces as well, which allows attic air to move underneath the floor, decreasing the comfort upstairs. These style homes will typically only have one heating and cooling system located in the basement or on the first floor, and usually that system does not have any return air ducts going up to the second story to pull the hot air in the summertime back down to the AC unit. This greatly contributes to the second floor being hotter in the summer than the rest of the house below. This type of house is harder to fix comfort issues on than a single-story house, mainly because of the lack of access to those attic spaces surrounding the second story. Often you have to either remove drywall upstairs or cut new attic accesses in on the second floor before any insulation or air sealing work can be done. 2-story houses. This is arguably the most common house type in the United States. They can have either 1 or 2 heating and cooling systems, and if the house has a basement, one system will be down there and the other system will be located inside the attic or in a closet on the second floor. For 2-story houses with one heating and cooling system located in a basement, you typically get a lack of return air coming back down from the second floor to the system in the basement. This is caused by undersized ductwork and the fact that many of these houses are built with wall and floor cavities that are used as parts of the return air ductwork, and those tend to be very leaky in general. Overall, these houses are relatively easy to fix insulation and air leakage issues on, but fixing issues with the ductwork, for example, can be more challenging if all the ductwork's hidden behind drywall. We'll discuss these ductwork issues in more detail in Chapter 8 of the course. 2.5-story houses. These are less common today, but they're still found in some higher density neighborhoods where they need to build up higher due to a lack of ground space available. It's basically the same type of house as a 1.5-story home with an extra full second story below the top half story. Often you'll find older 2-story houses with large attic spaces that were converted into living space a long time ago. Back then, nobody really understood how insulation and heating and cooling system work together, so these converted attic spaces were almost always uncomfortable year-round. Because of the comfort issues we just mentioned, these homes usually have at least 2 heating and cooling systems, and generally will have the similar issues as the 1.5-story homes that we discussed earlier. Since they're also taller than most houses, they also have more air leakage in general that's caused by something called stack effect, which you'll learn more about in Chapter 3. So that's a quick summary of the 4 main types of houses that we're going to cover in this course. In the next chapter, we'll be talking about building science basics. So let's get started.